I'm a millennial. Oh, thank you. 5 people. That's why I'm dressed like a teen girl right now. Thank you. Yeah. All my friends, we're millennials. We're becoming middle-aged. Ooh, scary. Careful. Jump back. Don't look at my skin, I really, truly am re-falling in love with all of my girlfriends becoming middle-aged. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. She's already laughing. Unbelievable. I love it. We've been told by the generation before us and my mom's generation that after a certain age, women, we become invisible. Have you heard this before? Yeah, we become invisible. We become caretakers, We go into the background, Guys don't want to finger you or whatever, Let me tell you something about me and my friends. We ain't going quiet, all right? Let me tell you that. This is how we've been combating this. We've been going out to places, getting hammered drunk, talking really loud, all right? If we are in an establishment, you will know, okay? And you will not like it. I was out at dinner with a couple of friends of mine. There was 4 of us, and only one of us was single in this group. She had this mark on her neck, and we were like, Elise has got a hickey. Oh my God, Elise. We're like, she's a slut. She's got a hickey. And then Elise was like, no, I had a cancerous mole removed. We were like, that's right, you don't need a man. Except for your dermatologist. Get your moles checked, y'all. It's fucked up. We've been going buck wild. All my friends are on Ozempic now. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's making them crazy. We all grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s. We're all extremely toxic, Now you can see it. It's awesome. I love it. It's making my friends crazy. My friend said this the other day. She was like, my boss is so skinny. I just trust her. What the fuck? You trust a skinny woman? Why? Because she hasn't been swooped up by a hawk yet? Why would you trust a skinny person? It's insane. I love it. And I don't know, because now a lot of them are becoming moms, right? I don't know when any of them are gonna cry. I love it. You never felt more alive than going out with a hormonal woman, I went to a Broadway show, and before the show, we were flipping through the little pamphlet they give you, and it has all the ads for the other show. And my friend opened this ad. She was like, I want to see that show. And it was not a show. It was an ad for HIV medication PrEP, It's just a bunch of gays like, no! She's like, I want to see that. And then she started crying out of nowhere. She was like, I used to hang out with gays. Now I watch Miss Rachel. It's like, it's okay. It's a tough time for us, I grew up in Virginia. What? We thought you were from Paris. Yeah. I grew up in Virginia. I grew up outside of D.C. And this one time I was taking the metro home to my parents' house, and it stopped. It broke down in the middle of a kind of a tough neighborhood in D.C. This is like 2007-ish. I'm like 19, 20 years old. I come out. There's no, I don't have a smartphone. There's no Uber. There's no nothing. There's no taxis. And I was like, fuck, I'm trapped, And just when I was thinking, what am I going to do? This taxi, I swear to God, like a knight in shining armor, just hit the curb, And he said the most beautiful phrase I've ever heard. He's like, white girl, where in the hell are you going? I was like, that's that DC hospitality. Y'all wouldn't get it. But I was like, wherever you're going. So I get in this man's car. So the first thing this cab driver asked me is, white girl, what the hell are you doing? And I know the ladies know what he asked next. You guys know what he asked next? Do you have a boyfriend? Right? All right, listen, this man, if it was the 80s, I probably would have gone with it, But this is 2007. I was like, I have so many boyfriends, But this didn't stop him, all right? He was hitting on me the whole entire cab ride. The first thing he tries, swear to God, this man looks back at me and he goes, let me ask you something. You like shrimp? Something about me, I fucking love shrimp. I need a pound of shrimp right now, He's like, you like shrimp? He's like, let me tell you, I bust out laughing in this man's face, right? He said, if you were my girlfriend, you'd come home from a long day of work I'll make you some shrimp Alfredo. I'm laughing. I'm 20 years old. I'm like, that sounds great, buddy. You know, hilarious. At one point in this drive, he asked me, he's like, you like jewelry? If you were my girlfriend, take you to K Jewelers. Buy you something real nice, you know? I'm laughing. Tears are streaming down my face, you know? I'm like, this is hilarious. This is the funniest thing that ever happened to me. I was 20 years old, you know? Now I'm 37. Like, did I just let the love of my life slip through my fucking hands? This man had a job. He had jewelry money. He could cook. What the fuck? I married a comic. Yeah, I'm married to a comedian, so super rich. If anyone needs money, let me know. I'll be in the back. Thank you. Yeah. We've been together for quite some time now, quite some time. All the relationship advice for everyone who's been in a relationship for a long time, it's always like how to keep the spark alive. You know what I mean? You've heard like how to keep things sexy after a long relationship, how to keep it spicy. What if the spark is the literal only thing that's not wrong? Do you understand? They say don't marry the best sex you've ever had. What if you did and you're starting to be like, this guy can't read, holy shit. I am fucked. Where's that Cosmo article? 10 sexy ways to remind your husband he needs a real ID. You know? Fuck my life. I grew up with this real, like, manly dad in Virginia, you know, he was a real fucking tough, manly man. And I grew up, I was dating all these pieces of shit growing up. Drug dealers, huh? Woo, woo. White rappers, are there any white rappers here tonight? Back off, I'm married. But I love what you're doing, you know? My poor country-ass dad would be standing in front of his taxidermy. All these pieces of shit would come to pick me up for a date. He'd be like, what the fuck, you know? And they'd be like, what's up? You know, it was like bad. My dad always said the same thing to these men. He'd always be like, son, you mess with my daughter, you gonna be bear shit in the woods. Ugh, scary, right? And then he met my now husband, who was a theater minor. And he was like, good God, Courtney, go easy on him. Jesus. Seems like he's been through a lot, you know? Talking about having a baby. Oh my God, but I'm a baby myself. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Not for any like medical sad reason. It's just because my husband thinks Obama impressions are funny again. I'm so tired. He's like, no, honey, it's been long enough. It's come full circle. They're funny again, I swear. He walked in our bedroom the other day. He was like, Sasha, Malia, I felt my egg go back up. It was like, please don't do this. Please. We can't be trapped like this. Okay. You guys are fucking electric. I love this fucking skirt. Oh. Don't look at my butt. Okay. Or my pussy. Okay. I'm having fun. All right. I used to work in the fashion industry. Do not look at my outfit. Okay, so this is 100% true. I worked in the fashion industry. I specialized in lingerie. That's true. Stop. Who's a slut? Right here. Okay, thank you. That is 100% true, but I worked for big corporations, okay? And so I would have to be like very professional, but the reality was I had boobs and butts in my face at all times. That's 100% true. It's a real thing. Do you guys wear underwear? Can you guys see me? Okay, yeah. Everyone's too horny now, slipping off their chairs, yeah. So we gotta be really professional about all these things. So we would come up with different words to say like kind of sexy thing. Like instead of nipple, we say apex. Yeah, it's true. We'd say like, can you bring the neckline up? I can see her apex, you know, and everyone's like, her nips out, you know? It's very But it's classy, you know, not weird. And instead of butt crack, we say separation. yeah. Okay. You might want to tighten up the elastic. Her separation is out. You know, very, very, corporate, right? You want to know the only word we couldn't come up with something for? Camel toe. What the fuck? God, we really knocked it out of the park on that one, huh? I'll be sitting in a fitting like, I can see her fat pussy right there. I'm so sorry. God, this feels uncomfortable, right? Yeah. I used to work for Victoria's Secret, little indie brand. Look it up after this. It's a very, very powerful feeling when you work for a big company like that. Like, I don't know if any men in here ever taken home a woman that you thought had amazing tits. Yeah, this guy fucking loves it. And then you got her home, you got her bra off, you realized there was nothing. Fucking I did that. Yeah, that is what I do. Build up men's hopes and dreams and then crush them. I do it all for you, ladies. Okay. All right, this has been the best night of my life. I love you. Good night.